So just to catch up on some boxing news after we were all very engrossed and enthralled in the build-up in the fight last weekend between Alexander Usyk and Anthony Joshua. There is some other news that we must cover. Devin Haney versus George Kambosos. The rematch is official. It will be taking place in Melbourne, Australia on October 15th. What is it the Aussies say? Struth. Crikey. Looks like Devin Haney's going back down under. Any excuse for me to do an Australian accent and I will take it, so bear with me, people. Yes, it is official. The rematch is on. This, of course, will be for the undisputed lightweight championship once again. The undisputed lightweight champion being Devin Haney, defending his belts in Australia once again. So the first fight, and I'm just seeing it here, was on June 5th. That's crazy. Time really does fly by. I remember doing my pre-fight video for that fight. Honestly, feels like a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, the rematch is on. For those of you who are new to the channel, and there's going to be quite a few of you because the channel's blown up a fair bit recently, but you should know that historically, I'm not a fan of immediate rematches. I just feel that immediate rematches, they tend to just really freeze up the division because then we have to wait another couple of months for the fight. And then, you know, especially in this case where the undisputed champion, he can't move on and fight another style. It just kind of, it slows things down. And a lot of the time, I just don't see immediate rematches as being that intriguing. Sometimes I will make an exception because at the end of the day, I still watch, I still tune in. But sometimes, you know, there's an immediate rematch that's just a bit more enticing. You know, it's a bit more interesting because there may have been some controversy in the first fight that resulted in the decision or the fight ending in the way it did. And so you have an immediate rerun just to see if one fighter can win fair and square with no interference, that kind of thing. But looking back at that first fight, firstly, I didn't find it particularly entertaining. I thought it was a bit of a chore to watch. There was, for my money, very little action. I don't think the skill level was the highest. I think Devin Haney really didn't get out of first gear because George Kambosos just has a style that doesn't necessitate that. And then furthermore, I don't think it was competitive enough to kind of make an addition onto that first point. I don't think it was competitive enough to really warrant a rematch. And now I'm pretty sure there was a rematch clause in the contracts for the first fight. I may be wrong, but I think given that this rematch is happening, and I'm pretty sure I heard something about it in the lead up to the first fight, I can understand why it's happening. Obviously, George Kambosos, he lost. That was his first defeat, if I'm correct. He was obviously on a high because he beat Teofimo Lopez. He was the unified champ. He's coming against Devin Haney and lost handily. So he wants another crack, and he wants to prove to himself, prove to his fans in Australia that he isn't just a 1 minute man, that he is a proper champion. And so he wants to run it back. I get it, but from an entertainment perspective, there are better matchups in my opinion. Why not have Devin Haney fight Lomachenko? And in the meantime, George Kambosos fights the guy who Lomachenko is supposed to fight. I forget his name. Is it Jermaine Ortiz? Jermaine Ortiz? Or am I just making that up? What's his name? Forgive me, people. I know his surname's Ortiz. Yeah, Lomachenko's got this upcoming fight against Ortiz, which I've seen a bit of Ortiz. I haven't seen much, but I've checked out some of his fights. I think that's going to be a relatively routine fight for Lomachenko. I could be wrong. Let's see what happens. But yeah, in my opinion, Lomachenko, he's already had 2 comeback fights against Nakatani and Richard Comey. And so why not take on Devin Haney? And then, as I say, George Kambosos takes on Ortiz. 2 much more interesting fights in the interim, because George Kambosos, we haven't seen him against Ortiz, whereas we've already seen him against Haney, and we saw how it ended. Maybe he can reverse it. Maybe he can absolutely spark out Devin Haney, and then he becomes undisputed champion. I doubt it, but who knows? But that seems to be the lay of the land right now. This rematch is on for October 15th. What do you think about it? Do you, like me, think it's a bit a bit pointless? You know, you'd rather see another fight, or are you all for this rematch happening? Are you gunning for it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.